Hey guys, Kev here, and I want to do my first impressions on the EMPEDC Thick Boy prototype I have here. Um, yeah, guys, I am really loving this thing. You'll see in my unboxing that I mentioned the detent was light, and I'm starting to think it's not really that light. It's just a very heavy blade. With great action. I don't know. It's hard to explain. Like when I'm just right here on camera, it's just something you get used to. Once you figure out that you just got to give it a good flick, it's not like, a super hard flick you got to give it. It's just a little more than like the knives that I really love from Riot where they just pop when the detent does. If this detent pops, it won't lock up. But I've gotten used to it, and man, is this thing fidgety as all get out. It is a super fun knife. I am definitely going to find a way to pick one of these up. So if that means anything to you. Anyway, I'm not going to disassemble it because John asked me not to, which is fair enough. This is his personal prototype, so I don't want to mess with it. And I think I just realized this might be OD green micarta, not black micarta, man. I don't know if I'm colorblind or it just has been worn in a lot. Do I have any black micarta I could pull out to show you? Or OD green? I don't think I do currently. So anyway, real quick, this will come in a box like this. I don't think this will be the color of the thing. I think it changes based on the hardware you have or the run. I don't know. And then it has a magnetic clasp, which is really cool. And then your knife will be cut out in here. This is for the nimble, but I just want to show you. And then right here will be your COA card with the date and number of your knife. And I believe they will be numbered somehow. I don't know where. I guess if I was doing it, I'd probably number it right there on the back of the tang there, or maybe on the inside of the scale. We can take a look at the inside of the scale and see if there's anything in there. So yeah, the size is very cool. So comparing it to the nimble, this is the Gen 2 or version 2 or whatever, production run number 2 prototype. It is a little bit bigger than the nimble, but they are very, very close in size. When open, again, very, very close. They might actually be the same length. I think it's just a hair longer back here. I didn't notice that the backspacer actually sticks out a touch out of the back there. It's actually pretty cool. Does it do anything functionally? No, but it's just kind of an interesting aesthetic. I'll be doing a comparison of the two nimbles as well. And then I'll be sending these knives off to some other reviewers to check out. Here is the F5.5 from Urban EDC Supply. Similar kind of look, hole deployment only little knife. Man, they are very close in size. There you go. So if you have an F5.5, very, very similar. Something everybody has or knows the size of. Para 3. Again, very similar. Para 3 is a little longer maybe in the end here, but they are almost identical. All right, so let's take a look at this bad boy, right? This is your up-close view. Check out my a Dick Hank from Kyle Lanfear sent me. So this is the satin blade, I believe. Yeah, it looks like satin to me. It is S35VN, so that's one of the things that's different between this and the nimble. And I was wrong in the unboxing. This is manufactured by Bestech, not by QSP like the nimble. So this knife right here is manufactured by QSP and this by Bestech. I'm impressed with the build. Now, I will say with Bestech, usually for some reason their detents are light across the board, in my opinion. And so, that could be a factor in that detent. I would like it to be stiffer, obviously, but it works fantastically the way it is. I do have to say that. So it's not really a complaint. It's a personal preference. And I did talk to John, the guy behind EMPEDC, which big shout out to John. Go follow their Instagram. I'll link it in the website down below. Dude he's a really cool dude. His customer service is fantastic. Just another one of these cool boutique brands like Asher and Finch and Luft Concepts and Renegade Provisions Co. and Arcane Design and Something Obscene. There's so many of them, right? Just very, very good dudes. But anyway, I talked to him about it. And essentially, he said to keep the cost under $400, he went with S35 instead of M390. So you would have been looking at more like probably $350, $375 for the pre-order on this if he had done M390. And then he thought the stainless properties of S35 kind of made more sense in this case as well. I will say, I have had that experience that S35 does not rust as much as M390, interestingly enough. I've carried a lot of both, and I notice M390 rusts a little bit quicker. Now, with these bead blasts in the hole there, or the bead blast, it's probably going to be the part that could rust on you. So if you're a sweaty guy or live in a humid place or a coastal place, I would put something on there to inhibit the rust if you're that type of sweaty dude or whatever. But yeah, so you have a big chunk of S35 VN steel. I believe green micarta. Sorry, it could be black. I know. I'm colorblind. I think it's green. And then you have titanium. It's a bolster lock, which is fantastic for lefties out there. This is a good one for lefties. Now, remember, it is a chunky guy, but it's not a brutally chunky guy. It's not like Bergblade Slim chunky, at least from what I remember, because I've had both, and that felt a lot chunkier. I think it was also a little smaller, but like here's the F5. See the F5.5? It's barely thicker than an F5.5. I don't even think it is. I think it's the same dimension as an F5.5. So you're not talking about this brutal beast of a knife. Like, yeah, it gets a little thicker in the handle, I guess. But again, look at that. If you match it up where the clip side is, it's almost identical. So if you have one of these and carry it and enjoy it like I do, I've never said this is a thick knife, ever. Now, it's not a bug out, of course. But there's plenty of knives that are in this, like, size category. Here's a Tucson that's probably thicker. You know, if you put the scales like this, I bet it is. Yep. So, I don't know. I just think it kind of, I don't want to say it's misleading, the name. Because it is meant to be that kind of thick little cleaver knife. So it makes sense. But it isn't that thick. So just keep that in mind if you were like me thinking it was going to be super thick and that was why you weren't going to pick it up. Because I definitely want to pick one of these up now. So sorry, I skipped ahead. Back to the detent. John did tell me that out of the box, these are a little bit stiffer. This one is a prototype, and it has been flicked a gajillion times. So it's very broken in. You can see the detent is solid. It's just such a heavy blade that it just flops in. But if you kind of see that, let's see if I do it from the side. It sucks it in pretty good. Now you can shake it out. Right? So, it's, again, not the strongest, but it's definitely works fantastically. I've been fidgeting with this thing all day today. I got it yesterday, and I am absolutely in love with this thing. I already told him I'm getting one at some point, so I got to figure that out, because the one I want is black micarta handles with satin blade, and that's sold out right now. They do have the green micarta available still, so jump on that. They had some stonewash versions, I believe, still available. He did say he believes the satin, the detent might be just a touch stiffer than the stonewash blade, I think is what he said. But I don't think anybody would really notice. But yeah, they are still available. I believe they start at $310. And then there's add-ons. You can get scales, different kinds of scales for, I think, $40. So worst case, I don't know if I'll do it, but I could buy the green micarta one and then buy a pair of black micarta scales. But at that point, I'd probably just stick with the green micarta. So yeah, that's kind of an overview there and a good look at it. You can see the clip is very EMPEDC-esque. So I like that he has kind of flowing things that go through the knives, kind of a frag pattern on the backspacer. So that's kind of a EMP thing. I love his jimping. Nice and long jimping, very solid. It's not too aggressive, but not smooth. So there are some similarities here. I have absolutely enjoyed the build quality. I'm impressed by EMPEDC on this. Honestly, if you handed me this and didn't tell me anything about it beforehand, the only thing that would make me not suggest it was Riot would be the detent, because Riot always has a nice clicky kind of stiffer detent. I'd say 99% of the time. That would be the only thing that would made me mislead. Wow, Kev. That's the only thing that would make me be like, was this built by someone else? You know? But it is very, very nicely done. And I'm not saying Riot is the only OEM that can do great work, because look at this. And look at that nimble. QSP, EMPEDC. I'm getting more and more impressed with EMPEDC as we go. They're starting to really nail it with the Arcane Design knives. I have another one coming. What's it called? The Riverstone from Grissom Knife and Tool. They do the Veros, which I've always been pretty impressed with. So EMPEDC's doing great work. Anyway, you have your Atom logo here on this kind of like stonewash titanium. Again, it's a bolster lock, which is awesome. Obviously, titanium scales. Let's see if there's anything in there. So there's no milling, which I think, again, on purpose. It's called the Thick Boy. There's your lock bar insert and detent ball. And there's nothing that I can see. No markings of any kind on this knife. I don't know if that'll hold up for the production version. Let me see if there's anything on here. Does it say M390 anywhere? No, I don't think this has any markings either. And then it just has the number on the backspacer. The prototype for the Gen 2 does not, I guess because it's a prototype, obviously. Also, no markings anywhere on this guy. There's just that EMPEDC logo there on the pivot, and that's what you get here. Very, very clean. Now, ergonomics. This isn't a review, but I'm just excited about it. I've been carrying it all day, so I'm like, you know, I got a lot to say. Ergos, man. Holding it back here works, right? I have good grip, jimping. It looks like a blocky construction, and it is, but it works really well. If you have a, I'd say, large, medium, large size hand, small, this is going to fit really well. Mine is a large 2XL, large -XL size. So I get a little bit cramped in there on this guy, but it works. I mean, it really does work, but I'm always going to hold it like this. And this is supremely comfortable. I still have that jimping right here, and now I have control of this just freaking X-Acto knife right here, which is awesome. I think I cut some stuff in the unboxing, and it cuts like a dream. So, ergos, fantastic. The action on this thing, man, like I said, you just have to know, you have to grip it and rip it, as I say, and it works like a champ. The thumb flick is extremely satisfying on this guy. You can slow roll it. I mean, I literally was just walking around my house doing this all day. I mean, look at that drop. It is such a satisfying drop, guys. That's something I look for in knives, and this thing has it in spades. Honestly, it reminds me of my Field Duty, which also has a guillotine type drop. And then the other one, obviously, this is a big comparison for me, interestingly, is the Evo 2.0. And yes, I am putting it in that category of action. Now, detent, I will say, it's just a touch lighter than the Evo. So if you ever handled an Evo, it's a little bit lighter than that. Oof, almost cut myself. But look at that action, just guillotining, drop shut. This thing is even more of a guillotine. I mean, look at that. It's just like, it's like it's a magnet, and it has to get back to the other magnet in here. Like, oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm in love, guys. And not because he sent me this to review. Obviously, I appreciate that. But John knows I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm going to give an honest review. I'm not done yet. I've only had it a day. But I will tell you, I went from, it's going to be too thick before I got it, to, oh, it's not too thick. And then unboxed it and said, the detent's a little light for me, right? To today being like, holy shit, I need one of these. Like, this is like next top priority, gotta get category right here for me. So if that means anything to you guys, you know, good. If not, great. Go check out other channels' reviews of any knife I review. That is the best way to make your decisions. Take all the information you can, put it into one solid opinion, and then make your decision from there. And always try to buy knives that you can resell without losing too much money. $310 for S35VN and titanium inlays and all of that. Is it worth it? Yes. Especially coming from a boutique brand like EMP, EDC, it totally makes sense, that price. I mean, we saw the Avant go for $299. That does have M390, but it's not a titanium frame lock or bolster lock. This has a little bit more on the build material. I'm not saying it's better or anything like that. I'm just saying I see why it would be a little more with S35VN on it. We've seen the Gungnir go for $425. Now you get some cool goodies with that, but and it's a big ass knife. It's a lot of material, but these prices make sense. So that's all I'm kind of getting at there. Man, I'm in love with this. I can't shut up. I'm sorry. Anything else I want to cover in this first impressions? I think you can tell my excitement. Is there anything? I'm just trying to think if I missed anything. I don't think so, guys. I think I covered everything I wanted to cover in the unboxing. I don't know when they're going to land, but my suspicion would be the holidays. Hopefully between like Thanksgiving and Christmas. Man, I need one of these. That, man, is such a satisfying thunk when it flies out like that. And then one thing I love about knives like this with choils, and I'll explain, is when you flick them, where your hand lands is just like perfect to grip and cut, right? That's the f5.5. Here's the nimble grip, and I'm ready to go, right? And this knife, it's the same. It's just right there. You're just like, bang, ready to slice. And slice this thing does. So, all right, I'm going to shut up. That was enough. This has been the EMP EDC Thick Boy. Like I said, there still are some in stock at the time of this filming. I can't promise they're still there once this posts. This should post in a few days, but yeah. Go pick one up if you have the means and think it's a cool looking knife. I can vouch for its absolute quality, and I'll be picking one up. So that's it. I love you guys so much. Oh, one other thing I wanted to just throw in there. I know it's at the end here, but another buddy on YouTube who is a big fan of EMP EDC is Tri-State EDC. He has a fantastic YouTube channel. He does a lot of editing and comes out with great videos. And he is so close to 1K right now on YouTube. And hopefully he's over it by the time this posts. But I would love if you guys could go over there, show my boy Cole some love, and subscribe to Tri-State EDC. I will do my best to link it down below. I think you'll enjoy his content if you enjoy mine. He has a great sense of humor. He was on the edge with us, and we had an absolute blast. Can't wait to have him on again. And even if he is over 1,000, go show him some love, guys. He deserves it. He really, really deserves it. So, as always, I love you all. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will catch you later.